Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 25 of my Create This Book 2 series by me and Moriah Elizabeth. Today I have 4 more prompts to do. Before I begin, be sure to like and subscribe, and let's see what I can come up with for today. I tried to put these little pink sticky notes at the top of the book, that way I could get to my pages easier, but as you could see, that did not help very much. But the first prompt of the day is to create peace. We're using my little fake plant paperweight, and now I'm going to be using my Posca pens to create the art on this page, and I already kind of had a little bit of a peaceful idea. 2 things initially came to mind. The first thing was a spa, and then I thought about how they decorate spas with nature and beautiful plants and things. So I decided to focus on that part of it and think about how nature is peaceful. So I actually decided to create these little leaves, and I actually flipped the book over instead of trying to draw the leaf upside down. Usually I'd be too lazy to flip the book around, even though it takes 2 seconds, but I actually did it right, so pat on the back for not being lazy. And then I took a dark green and added in some details to the leaves just to make everything look a little more full and to give it a little more dimension. And then I was kind of stuck. I didn't really know what to do after that. At first I thought about leaving the page green, but then I finally decided to add some more plant life and give it these little floral details. So I just made the page decorated with a couple of pink flowers, and then I needed to do something in the middle too. So I decided to try and make this like a little pond or a little garden with some fish in it. So that's what I'm doing. So the first thing I did was sketch out my little fish and then add in some details. The fish are not very detailed, but neither is the rest of the page really. And then I added some lily pads to be on top of the water to help sell the effect of water once I get my blue Posca pen in there. I took inspiration from the video I made where I used Posca pens for the first time ever. I kind of created a design a bit like this, but I like to think I've gotten a little bit better since then. But here I go, adding in the water detail to everything. It's kind of scary because you have to draw over things you've already made, but it's worth it in the end. So I just made my little water pattern, and then I added in some white highlights and some white little bubble dots, and then this page was completed. I think it's pretty peaceful, but let me know what you think about it. And it looks pretty cool. I like the water effect a lot, and I think it creates a peaceful scene. So I put this paper in there so I wouldn't leak onto the next pages, and now it's time to do the next prompt, which is to create assemblage. So I'm supposed to create something. I'm using this little froggy guy to do that. And then I'm supposed to basically disassemble it, so cut it up, and then put it back into the book in a different way. This one was a little bit challenging for me to come up with a design for because I needed something that had pieces and could be disassembled and then reassembled but still identifiable. So I decided to do a human face because, you know, they got eyes, ears, mouth, nose. So I decided to go ahead and do that. That way I could cut out the individual parts of the face and then put them back onto the page. And I decided to keep it all black and white. That way it would look cool on the page and it would all kind of go together in a way, even though it was all, you know, separate. So now it's time to cut up the art, which was crazy and kind of scary. But once I had all of the pieces, I tried to assemble them in a book. I kind of still put them in the order that they would go in, but I shifted them and put them in different ways, sideways, so it's still disassembled and still repositioned, but it's all kind of still in the correct place because I wanted you to be able to tell what it was. So this is what I came up with, and here it is completed. It's kind of scary looking and a little bit demented, but you know, that's just how it is. So now it's time for the next prompt, which is to create a theme, and I decided that I wanted to make a fall themed page. For this page, my goal was to just have fun and make all of the fall related things in one picture. So I made some fall leaves, I drew in a little pumpkin, and then I decided to draw in a little bit of wind in the background, or like infer that there was a breeze in the background. And then I also added in some candy corn because that screams fall to me. And I also even added in a little spooky ghost because, why not? It's spooky season. And then I just continued filling up the page with similar things just to kind of repeat the vibes and repeat the pattern. And I think it turned out really cute. I'm just trying to have fun with this page, like I said. So now it's time to outline all of the art that I created. And I decided to go in with this brown, and I also added little faces to the pumpkins because, jack-o'-lanterns are for spooky season and they're just cute. I used the brown fine liner to make the art a little softer and a little more warm, and then it was time to erase the underlying sketch. That way I didn't have pencil in my drawing, and I did one of the worst things you can do, which is like scrunch your paper when you're erasing. Pretty upsetting, but we'll get through it. And now it's time to go in and use my Ohuhu markers to color in the art. And again, I just decided to have fun with it. I did a little bit of just coloring in just flat colors. I didn't add in any shading or anything. I just wanted to leave everything pretty simple and just let the art speak for itself and let the little designs speak for themselves and just make it like a little simple fall pattern. So I made the ghost purple. I colored in the pumpkin little insides and stems brown. And then for the candy corn, I decided to use these bright Ohuhu markers. They're like highlighter bright, and I thought that would be fun to add to the candy corns, but then I decided that the fun shouldn't stop there, and I should also use that bright orange on the pumpkins just to make sure that they pop out of the page because they're like my favorite part about the design. And then I just went in with random colors pretty much that kind of screamed fall to me to do the rest of the leaves and all of that. And for the background of the wind, I decided to make it purple because I guess I think of wind as purpley in this case. So that was fun to just kind of fill in, and I think it was a good idea, so it filled up some of the background. And then I decided it needed even more, so I went in with my gold Signo gel pen and just kind of outlined everything, and then I also added this little circle pattern to the back of the page. And now it's time to glue it or tape it down into the book. So here's how it turned out. I think it's very cute, and I think it definitely screams the theme of fall, which was the whole point of the page, so I'm pretty happy with it. And now it is time for the last prompt of the day, which is to create repetition, repetition, repetition. So basically, I am supposed to draw the same thing over and over and over again to create some form of art. So I decided to go ahead and draw some sort of circular object shapes over and over and over to create a design. So right now I'm just going in and drawing out a whole bunch of large circle-ish shapes, and then once I had the whole page filled with these giant weird looking blobs, then I went in and filled in the insides of the circles, like wherever they touched, with more circles, so even more repetition of circles. And then I just did that until the whole page was filled with this kind of weird blob circle design, and this is how it came out. So I think it was pretty fun, and it was fun to just use circles over and over and over, kind of mindless flowing art. So here is the first prompt again, where I created peace by drawing out with Posca pens this little koi pond landscape kind of thing with the Posca markers, and I think it came out really cool. I think it screams peaceful vibes, and I think the colors really sell it. Here is the next prompt where I created assemblage, where I made this art, cut it up, and then reassembled it onto the page, which was kind of scary and it came out a little weird, but hey, it is what it is. And here is the next prompt where I created a theme, and I decided to go with the theme of fall. So we drew little spooky pumpkins, candy corn, ghosts, of course, some fall leaves. This one came out really cute. And here is the last prompt where we created repetition by drawing circles several times. Let me know which prompt came out your favorite because I'd be interested to know. If you didn't already, be sure to like and subscribe to see more videos. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!